Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to #PastorBesties. This is Melissa.
That's Nicole.
Hey, Melissa.
Yes, Nicole.
Did you know
Yes.
that when God closes a door, he opens a window?
Oh, for me to jump out of?
That's really terrible. Today we are talking about those terrible things, those Christian cliches that we tend to say.
Yeah.
Today on #PastorBesties. So sometimes in life, we say things because we've heard them before.
Right.
Maybe they brought us even comfort in that situation, but they are inherently bad.
Right. So can we go
Bad.
through what some of those cliches may be?
Everything happens for a reason.
When someone dies, God needed another angel, or God needed them more than you did.
How about, I know exactly how you feel.
Oh, really? No, you don't. Sorry, that was mean.
It's okay. It's true, though. You don't. I mean,
Be strong. Don't cry.
how about, I'll pray for you, which sounds really great
It does.
until you don't pray for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. God won't give you more than you can handle. Classic. That's a classic.
Yeah, I think
one.
Mother Teresa followed that up by saying, I wish God didn't trust me so much. Oh, Mother Teresa.
She's a little sassy.
I know.
I love it.
I love Mother Teresa.
So these things that we tend to say, they're not great.
No. Have you ever in ministry as a pastor, like, accidentally said one, and even as you were saying it, you were like, no.
Yep, I sure have.
Of course.
I think I told somebody not even that long ago, if God brought you to it, he'll bring you through it. It's so embarrassing. I can't believe I even admitted it. It was awful. It just like,
confession.
as it was like coming out, I'm like, go back in, go back in.
Go. Yeah, there's sometimes those words that are like word vomit, that it's like, what? I've even found, so when I've gone to like personal funerals, or like people that I know or people that I'm really close to that I'm not officiating, like as you're going through the line, it's sort of like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? Don't be that person who says something dumb. And then I'm like, if you need anything.
It's not a bad
It's
thing.
not bad, but I'm like, you don't know what you need, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally fine. And now I'm just like, let me know when I can help you. But I don't know, it's just weird, you know?
Sometimes it's better to just be more specific and say, I'm
Yes.
bringing you dinner.
Yes.
Because I know you need it, whether you know you need it or not.
Exactly. So that's sometimes how you fix some of the things that you say.
Sure.
What I think sometimes, you're right, I think when you said, like, sometimes those things have brought us comfort in the past. Or maybe we heard it and we were like, yeah, that's helpful. And maybe even when we heard it, we were like, no, and I don't know what else might be helpful.
Yeah, I think we sometimes don't really think through what it means
Yes.
theologically when we say those things. They can really mess up your idea of who God is.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you tell somebody God needed that person more than you, what
what
kind
if
of
I
God
need-
needs
yeah.
anything? What?
Right,
God's
right.
a jerk. That's not
Yeah.
cool.
Asshole.
Just call.
Maybe that's helpful to tell people.
Yeah, don't tell people that.
Sorry, God. Sorry, Jeremy.
So here's the thing: we want to help. We want to say something.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
sometimes it's okay to not say anything. Sometimes you
Absolutely.
just need to listen. But what are some good things that we can say? Because
Yeah.
you know, let's start like thinking about them now, so that
Absolutely.
in the moment we've got some things to go to.
So I think sometimes when you think about the cliches in general, just think about, okay, what am I saying when I say that? So like, what does this say about God? What does this say about my relationship with God? So, I mean, just even thinking about those cliches through now before you say them is good. So the one about, like, I will pray for you, that does sound great if you actually are going to do it.
Right.
So maybe an alternative response would be like, wow, I'm going to pray for you. Can we pray right now?
You know, I feel like sometimes we really don't do that because we're nervous to pray in front of somebody else, but it has been my experience as a pastor, but also just as a person, that when you say, can we pray right now?
Yeah.
That is so moving for that person. It's so comforting for them to say, wow, they're going to take time to pray for me right now.
Right.
That's amazing.
Right.
So do that. I mean, I don't think we do it enough.
I agree.
We need to do that more.
I agree. And sometimes it may even giving the person permission to say, if you say no, that's okay.
Yes.
So that they can feel their own feelings too.
Right.
So, can I pray for you right now? Can we pray together? That's a good way to change that.
That's a great way to say that. I think instead of saying everything happens for a reason, to just, because that's not true. Sometimes bad crap just happens.
Right.
So just own it and say, this sucks. And sometimes bad stuff just happens. And I'm sorry that it's happening to you.
And sometimes we find a reason for why things happen, and sometimes we don't. And sometimes we create reasons for why things happen.
Right.
So we can find comfort. And also, sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
And in the middle of all of that, God is with you.
Yeah, I think you can say, I don't know why bad stuff happens. I know that God is with you, and I know that He is going to work really hard to bring about some good in this situation.
Yeah.
That's truth. But you're not saying, hey, this terrible thing happened to you for a reason. Now, God may make something great happen out of it, and then maybe you'll feel like, okay, I see how that happened, but it didn't happen for that reason.
Right.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just allowing, if it's another person, like allowing them to answer some questions. So asking questions that may be more open-ended, like, how are you feeling? Which also sometimes they may not know. So, I mean, to hear and to even say, I don't know is a good reason. I mean, or I don't know how I'm feeling is an okay response. So sometimes it's giving people permission to feel their feelings. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, or giving them a space to even take some time to think, because sometimes we don't allow ourselves space to process. And that's an important part of grieving through hard times.
Right. So in a death that happened in my life a few years ago, actually just recently someone asked me, can you tell me about this person? And I realized no one has ever asked me that question. And it was it's been a while, and I feel like I've worked through a lot of the grieving process, but it was a moment that was like, it felt like another step in grief working through stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Giving space for people to process is important. And just being good listeners. I think sometimes we feel like we have to have all the answers. And so that's why we say things that maybe we don't mean or understand or have heard before. But really, sometimes we just need to listen and to be present and to just sit with somebody.
Yeah.
And to just be. Yeah.
I think when death happens in Jewish tradition, they have the tradition of sitting Shiva, where you just sit with the person who is grieving. And I think sometimes that is one of the most beautiful things. It's the ministry of presence, of just being, so that someone knows I'm not alone.
I love that. I think that is so beautiful and needed and wonderful. And yeah, I love that. I love that. And would mean way more to me than somebody telling me that God needed another angel.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, you probably have some cliches that you have heard throughout your life. Maybe even some that you've said that you're like, I did say this and I don't believe it anymore, or maybe I never did. So share those using hashtag PastorBesties, post it in the comments below. We'd love to hear them.
We would. You know, Melissa, I just feel like we really need to let go and let God.
What? What are we going to let God do?
That's a great question.
I've said that one and I don't know what
I It's not wholly untrue. We should surrender
Right.
and let God do God's thing, but maybe just
Yeah. Oh, these cliches. Go find that window.
hope it's unlocked.
Oh, so again, share your cliches. We'd love to hear them. Make sure you like and subscribe. And wherever you are, if you have heard something that maybe has been not helpful for you, know that God has been with you the whole time. Maybe if you've said something that you feel like I shouldn't have said, know that God has been with you the whole time. And as you walk through whatever you're walking through, God has walked with you through the valley of the shadow of death, and yet will lead you beside the still waters. So trust that God is always with you.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.